Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Fans in Motion podcast, the only podcast that you didn't know you needed. I say to my two friends that are watching, staring at my face, I wake in the morning with a smile on my face. Never sentimental about my night's embrace. Another lucky day, lucky night out of town. Now I got the touch. Now I make the rounds. Say hello, Josh.
Ooh, yeah. Touch of madness.
Oh, yeah.
Macho madness. Ooh, yeah.
Brentry?
Well, how do you follow up Randy the Macho Man Savage?
You just don't. You
I
snap
don't.
into a
I don't
Slim
have
Jim. That's what you do.
Randy Piper. Not Randy Piper. Roddy Piper. Randy Piper was on Wasp.
Roddy Piper.
I don't have a Jimmy Superfly Snuka other than this.
No, you know what you come up with?
I don't have a Brutus. I don't have a Brutus Beefcake. And
Let me tell you about Night Ranger, brother.
I don't have an Iron Sheik. Oh, we got a
Let me
Hulk
tell
Hogan.
you, brother. I saw these guys. Let me rip this shirt real quick.
Everybody's talking about Touch of Madness, but what about the Macho Madness? Ooh, yeah.
I use that song because as we record this, the final matchup in the Midnight March Madness has happened, or the voting is going on.
It's going on right now.
It's been heartbreaking, Josh. Heartbreaking. I'm telling you. I say this to you, heartbreaking. This is one of my deep cuts that I just wish would have gone. I know it had no chance in hell of going all the way, but man, I love this song. And I was these are the two songs that are in it, the finals, that I honestly in my head I thought this would be the final. Actually, maybe that or Sister Christian. I knew When You Close Your Eyes would have been part of it.
When You Close Your Eyes and Don't Tell Me You Love Me are in the finals. Looks like When You Close Your Eyes is going to win. And of course, because I said many episodes ago that is the quintessential Night Ranger track. But what was your deep...
And it is.
What's your
I don't disagree with you on that.
What's it going up against?
Don't Tell Me You Love Me.
Oh, have I voted for that? Is that today?
I don't know.
You just put it out earlier.
I haven't been on hardly all day.
But
So
yes, it's we have a Night Ranger podcast.
I've just been busy.
Josh, I agree with you on that, and I was talking to my better half last night, and she said, "Oh, it's not, you vote for Don't Tell Me You Love Me. That was it. That's the rocker." And I said, yes and no, but here's the problem. And I think I'm going to paraphrase you, Josh, but I think you're right, and I totally agree with you on this. If you're going to give one song,
say that again.
Josh was totally almost right. If you're going to give a person who doesn't know anything about Night Ranger one song to explain, to say this is what Night Ranger is, it should be When You Close Your Eyes. It's got both guys singing. It's got blazing guitars. It's got a great melody. It's got a great hook, and it tells a story. It's the quintessential, like Josh said. It tells that's what Night Ranger is.
And it's got a monkey in the video.
I didn't want to bring that up. I was going to leave it for you. So there you go.
So there you have it. Don't Tell Me You Love Me could stage a comeback, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
I am voting for Don't Tell Me You Love Me. No, not to go against you guys. That's because
it's the Betamax of Night Ranger.
It is. It is. It was my first free crack, is what it was for them. And by the way, while you guys were talking, he's going Macho Man in my head, and I keep going back to Miss Elizabeth. I can't shake her. I was in love with her.
Yeah, well, everybody.
When I closed my eyes, I dreamed about Miss Elizabeth.
But
she was hot.
I tell you, I'm sure you guys have seen some of my comments on the postings. Some of these matchups have just been, stressful for me. I really wish something newer would have made it further, but I understand why. We have such a love for the past and the back catalog. So,
The first series that Josh put up when this first started, you want to talk stressful, some other person on the page, Josh, I don't think you saw it. They added a song to your poll. So instead of there being 2 songs, there were 3 songs. And it was getting votes, and I deleted it.
I didn't see that. What song was it? Do you remember?
I forget.
It happened not too long ago. I must not have saw that one because I deleted another one. Someone put a song there, and I don't.
Yeah,
know.
That's funny.
I'm like, don't you understand what's going on here, people?
All I can say, it's probably someone new on there, not knowing exactly what's going on, but I mean, it could be someone that's been on the page forever and still not know what's going on either.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the world that don't know what's going on. So, but yeah,
you were drifting into Christopher Walken there for a minute. I was like, I want to see where that was going to go.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters.
Boo.
Yeah, it's your birthright. It's your birthright. I hid this uncomfortable.
I don't get it.
It's Pulp Fiction.
I've never seen it.
So, excuse me. Well, while we're on the subject of new people, let's go ahead and touch this real quick.
Touch it.
We are growing. We are expanding. We are like a big.
It usually happens when you touch it.
Throbbing muscle of love.
Jeez.
Of Night Ranger. This thing, I don't know how much bigger it can get. It's like Liam Neeson or something.
I got we have a specific set of skills that will make this
skills all right.
Night Ranger
Liam
page
Neeson's
grow.
blank is so big.
But no, if you guys could stop being children for 4 seconds.
Oh, and he said, "Touch it." I lost it. I just touch it. Do it.
We have a right to be giddy. Josh, we are on the just after the 1 year anniversary of you and Brent having a conversation, and you starting this page.
Yeah, we celebrated April 15th as the 1 year anniversary of the Fans in Motion Facebook page. Got my little iPhone. I was able to go back and go to the very first little thing. I did a little screenshot and put it up there. And it's more of a congratulations to everybody that's on the page. You guys are the ones that make it great. It sure as hell, if it was just me and Andy and Brent putting stuff on there, wouldn't be that great. It's all you guys out there doing this stuff. So
it'd been over with in July.
Yeah, we would have ran out of stuff to talk about.
So it's nonstop. I'm always amazed of what gets posted and what is found, and new people discovering the page. So 1 year later, it's still going good, and it's some fun stuff happened on the 1 year anniversary, even though I didn't know it was the 1 year anniversary at the time. You ever meet me, track me down, I'll tell you the story. And but yeah, one year down, and we're almost at 4,000 Night Ranger fans strong. So
yeah, that's the thing that is. I checked those numbers, and it still baffles me because I still just see us as three guys. You know, Brent and I have known each other for a lifetime. We met Josh via Kiss, and then it turned into Night Ranger because Josh is also a cool kid and knows what's right. And now we started this little page, and it just, I think Brent talked about, we were excited when we had like 100 people. Like, oh my God, we got 100 people on this page.
Yeah.
And now it's like we're getting 200 people a week are finding this page. I Josh, you said it right. It is not us at all. All we do is we keep the plates spinning. Is all we're doing. Everyone else is throwing stuff in, and it's fantastic. And I commented on someone's post earlier. We were talking about this, and I said, "This is the one thing I look forward to every morning. I get up, I let my dogs out, and I just get on Facebook, and I want to see all the new posts and how many people joined and the stories and the pictures, man. I mean, the 7 Wishes stuff that's coming up. I mean, just everything.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take anything away from Brian. I know you probably got some news to talk about, so I don't want to step on anything you might talk about. But just thank everyone so much for being part of this. It is so freaking cool.
I remember like it was 357 days ago when I got the phone call. That's exactly when it was, 357 days ago.
Do that,
I got the phone call from Josh. He's like, hey, I got that thing that you sent me. I think we're going to do a page, and we could do it bigger and better than anybody else, and we're going to call it Midnight Patrol. And I went, nope, You got to call it Fans in Motion, and we got to do a podcast. It was that instantaneous. And he's like, no, it's already up. It's called Midnight Patrol. So as soon as Josh and I hung up the phone, I started designing that.
Look at that.
And then here was the first rough draft finished. Look at that M.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Fucking
but it was exciting.
Horrible.
It was exciting. It looked great 356 days ago. Touch it. But anyway, so it was what? Midnight Patrol. Is that right? Is that
well? It was it would be the opposite of whatever Dawn of Madness was. We just used the other two words. I think for a while,
2 days?
We called it Rumors in the Air, I think, for a little bit. And then you got me it wasn't really that one. It was the one that's on the cover, the Man in Motion.
The zombies.
The Man in Motion one that kind of, like, all right, I like that. And that's what
I did that night.
That's what got me. The only thing that in the debate was Fans in Motion. If you're not a dedicated hardcore fan, you're kind of not going to know the Man in Motion symbolism. But it worked out. There's the one.
Yeah.
That was the very first one right there, without the zombies.
So
the fans.
When you got me the other one, it's like, all right, we can work with that. But yeah, so 1 year, going strong and going good, and thanks to everybody out there. Let's hit on some Night Ranger news.
I just want to make one more comment. You can go. It's been so cool meeting all these people, and some people I feel like I've known forever because of this page already.
Right.
So, hats off to you all. It's very cool for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Josh.
Keeping in our agenda. So, speaking of how cool it is to be part of this, and I really have to thank Josh and Brent for just bringing me on board, because I wasn't in the first early meeting. This episode we're introducing. This is part of the coolest part of what we do. Is we're going to rank the songs of Midnight Madness with a very special guest, Mr. Eric Levy himself. So again, to put it in perspective, we're three knuckleheads talking to the keyboard player from Night Ranger, ranking the songs. So this is one of those things that just, like, I don't know, man, just doesn't feel right. Like Wayne's what, man, we're not worthy.
Well, I was talking.
Eric's become a friend and a fan of the stuff, the hijinks that we do. So go ahead, John.
I was talking to Eric, and we were trying to, come up with some idea of what can we do to get him back on the show. We've already done the Eric Levy interview. We brought him back on at the beginning of the year to do his favorite Fitz keyboard riffs. And so I brought up, what about if we rank, an album, Midnight Madness? It's just every song is great.
Yes.
You can't really, there's not going to be too much controversy there. Let's just have some fun with it. And he liked the idea. So we recorded this probably a little bit over a month ago. I know we did it before we talked to Kelly. So, but yeah, it's fun, and you guys can all sit back and listen and hear how, horrible of a list that Brent and Andy and even Eric has.
I still have them sitting here on my desk. So.
Oh, wow.
I reference them every now and then just to see how wrong everybody else was.
All I know is when the cover was getting ready to come up, all Josh said was, "Can you get Eric in the scrubs?" And I went, that's not a problem.
And so I think he looks really good. I mean, he looks like that's...
Yeah, it's second nature to him in that picture. I sent this to him this week, and he sent it back. He sent back a comment, "I love it." I told him I had a few touch-ups to do on it.
I look pretty good there.
I look ridiculous.
I look pretty...
Well, I had to draw fake hair on Andy and I.
What's that, Buffalo
like
Bob?
He's about to say it puts the lotion on.
Yeah, I got fake hair. I'm Brent with the good hair. In that picture, Becky with the good hair.
Yeah.
I'm Brent with the good hair.
So anyway, this is super cool, and this is a fun episode. Hope everybody enjoy it. Watch this one, and you're gonna love it.
The best quote from the episode was, "Eric, do you think it's wise to be ranking your employer's music?"
Yeah,
I think that was said by Josh over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good idea. Hey, I'm going to. Hey, my employer, I want to rank what you did.
I'm going to tell you how good and how bad what you did, that I wasn't a part of. So the last episode we did was the breakup years. Have you had any thoughts since we talked about that, or anybody comment and tell you where you might have been wrong or right, or how many shows they saw of Barnaby Wild?
Yeah, there was one.
One.
I'm in Olympia, Washington. What am I going to name my club? I'm going to name it Detroit or Detroit's or some shit. I don't know. It's like, okay, it's like opening a club in Detroit and calling it, Walla Walla or some shit. But so yes, when I said that Barnaby Wild was playing in Detroit, well, they were playing in Detroit's, which was a club in Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
No one would ever have known that. Patty corrected me on it. So that does mean that place that was the next night, the concert poster, wouldn't have been Fort Wayne unless they had a shitty fucking tour manager and, hey, we're driving cross country overnight.
It was called Club Soda.
Yeah. So anyways, there was that. But other than that, we got a few comments of people who actually got to see, who lived out in California, so they got to see Mega, Barnaby Wild and stuff. So it was good to hear some of those stories. But yeah, it's just it's that dark period in Night Ranger's history, and where, Jack was so lucky just for everything to kind of fall in his lap. You know, I think he talks about, Night Ranger breaks up, he's at home maybe, and kind of like, okay, now what do I do? And like, it didn't last. It was 5 days later in the same week, he's flying out to New York City to rehearse
with a super group.
Yeah, well, the group was already formed. But he was going out there to join, and so Jack got extremely lucky with that, and we got extremely lucky that we had kind of a replacement for Night Ranger. But it's good to if you're a dedicated fan, to be able to track down that hardcore stuff that we talked about. So if you're one of those people who want to hear everything Night Ranger did, go back, listen to the episode, and you can track down some of those rare tracks. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Brent, you got any we got some Night Ranger news? Anybody want anything they need to share, get off their chest? Josh, Brent?
I know Josh has got something.
Well, we got a few new concert announcements. I think I mentioned in the last episode, I think they're playing Nebraska. They added a Nebraska date or something at the end of May. I should look that up. I do a Night Ranger podcast, but I haven't. But I did do this. They are playing Friday, July 9th at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa, which you can almost have a whole Night Ranger weekend, because I think they're playing Clear Lake, Iowa on the 9th, Wabash, Indiana on the 10th, and I think they're playing Wisconsin Dells that Sunday on the 11th. So, you can go, and the Surf Ballroom, famous because it was the last place that Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper played before,
the music died.
The day the music died. So there you go, Friday, July 9th.
That would be awesome to be there.
Everything, the Night Ranger albums being finalized, put together and everything. So we got that coming out this summer. Jim Peterick from Survivor fame, he does a thing every year, at least he did, I don't know if he still does, called World Stage. Kelly Kagi has been a part of it, Gary Moon has been a part of it, and on April 27th at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, AXS channel is going to play a World Stage performance from 2009.
Yeah, are they?
And Kelly Kagi is a part of that. Some members of Survivor, Leonard Skinner, and some other groups are as well. So April 27th on Axis, 12:30 Central, World Stage, Jim Peterick. Keep an eye out for it if you want to see some Kelly Kagi on your TV set.
There you go. Anything else? Is that it?
That's all for the Night Ranger news, brother.
All right. Is there any new stuff that anybody wants to talk about? Anything they want to show? Anybody added anything to their collection?
Oh, me.
We recognize the man in the Detroit hat.
So,
Detroit.
So, one good thing about doing this podcast is the friendships you build. And Andy, we both enjoyed talking to Brent Gilmore, who was the original Ranger.
Yeah.
And he was in that group, the Rangers, Night Ranger. Well, Ranger, that's what they were called then, had to change their name to Night Ranger because of this group. So we had him on a couple months ago. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. And during that episode, we were talking about the album that was going to be released, that we had the advertisement that we thought Night Ranger saw and what made them change their name. And before the episode, or while we were talking on the intro, I just happened to bring up, I have never been able to find that album. I'm not sure if it exists. There's a single, and Britt had saw that in text because the album exists, and so a couple days ago or a week ago or so, he's like, "Hey, man," and whenever I get a text, I hear it in his Southern accent too. Yeah. It's like, "Hey, man, send me your address. I got something for you, buddy." And I sent it to him. We talked a little bit and everything. And so today I got a package in the mail, and I opened it up, and look what I got. It's a cassette tape.
Wow, sealed.
Look at that.
LA style.
LA style. How cool is that, man?
So, yes, I almost want to open it, and I am going to probably open it and play it. But yes. So,
in the Night Ranger lore, this is in theory what we believe that someone in their management saw.
They saw that advertisement in Billboard. This cover is almost this. I mean, yeah, this cover is almost the same as the advertisement.
Yeah.
Some additional writing was on the advertisement, but yes, so they see this, the Rangers, and they are, one story has Brad flipping through the magazine in the studio. But so anyways, I got that. And then for all you vinyl collectors, we always talk about Dawn Patrol Boardwalk in the first pressings not having Bruce Cone management. So Boardwalk, and you got the Boardwalk label there, and how you got the promo label, right? Mm-hmm. So we always said all the promos never had the Bruce Cone management. So you can see no Bruce Cone management there. Well, I found this copy of Dawn Patrol for a couple bucks and bought it. It was a promo. I'm like, I'll buy it. Not noticing when I got home that it is a promo version.
Oh.
You see that there? Bruce Cone management. So now I have to figure this out because I have a promo version with Bruce Cone management.
Well, it could be a second pressing.
I mean, it could, but why? I mean, it would actually probably be a third pressing because there's another edition of promos with the circle promo stamp. And then you have them pressing that. You have them pressing that one without the Bruce Cone with the square. But then you now have a promo version with the Bruce Cohn management. So I'll have to check in the dead wax if I get that board. But anyways, there is a promo version with Bruce Cohn management that I've discovered. So yay for me and all the other Night Ranger nerds. All right, that's all I got.
Brent, anything?
Not anything new. No.
Okay. Then let's move on to the fans in motion recognition portion of the show.
Night Ranger did an auction on their page for Road Crew and what have you, and the first one's Jim Kuhn.
Yeah.
Got Brad Gillis's guitar strap.
How cool is that?
It's very damn cool. And our other person on the page.
Oh yeah. Which
I believe is Melissa Layton.
Yes.
She got an autographed drum head from that auction. Very, very cool. I think somebody else bought something, but I didn't see it posted yet, so they did not get mentioned on it.
What's funny is I have that same that guitar strap. I use the same one for my bass. I own the same strap. It's got that little kind of like an airborne army symbol there, and it's got that beat up, rough look. So I own that. I still probably own it. I own the same exact strap.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
No, I think he is serious.
Play bass?
Yeah, he tried.
I played bass for many years. Was in a band, and I still own probably 7 or 8 basses.
Oh, I thought you just tried it. I didn't think you actually
knew that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't on no tour or anything. Why bring it up? But
I bring up I'm a drummer.
Hey, Mr. Bassman.
So I'm really going to talk musicianship with 2 drummers. Like, why would I bring it up? But yes, that was, and I had like the locking straps. So I had it on all my basses to where I could just hit a button and release it and lock the other ones in place. Yeah, I had basses for every tuning, so I could just pick it up and play whatever tuning we were in. Got the Nicky 6 Blackbird Gibson.
Oh, it's you.
But I usually played my go-to was just a Fender Precision.
Fender. Yeah.
Even though one of the roughest sounding bass, I mean rough in a good way, like had a lot of attitude, was I had an old PVB 90. And that thing would just melt your face off. But anyways, I'm done.
What else you got, Brent?
You got Patty Soares.
Look at that.
This has been a great picture week on the page.
Oh, yeah.
I believe Patty's is from the Dawn Patrol tour.
Man, look at that.
She saw them. That's New Year's Eve, she said. And that was just barely a week before we had seen them open for Kiss.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. Next one popping up should be from the 7 Wishes tour. Yes. That should be Brian Bless.
Yeah, he posted a lot of good ones too.
Yeah, he did. And I couldn't get them all, but I saw that 3 together and I thought, yeah, Brian, man, you did a hell of a job with those pictures. They're freaking awesome.
That was such a fun tour.
And that one should be for the Big Life tour, if I remember right, from Randy Vukovic. I can't see the picture, so
it's from the Big Life tour, and you got the sign outside the show, and there's really like the lighting. See the lighting rigs behind there?
Yeah.
So was that like what their lighting rig was at all the shows, or was that a venue lighting rig?
No, that's the way it was in all the shows. You can see it in the Hearts Away video too.
Okay. Because there's not a lot out there. It's definitely no live video clips from that era. So it's just neat to see that background, because I've really never seen a lot of it.
All right. Is that it, Brent?
No, we got one more. And this goes out to our good friend, Amy Piera Johnson.
Look at that.
Her husband, Pete Johnson, which is also a former Bengals player.
Yeah. Good fullback.
But he's a drummer as well, and he makes these custom drums out of album covers. Now, what really sucks is today I saw that she had posted 2 Big Lifes and a Dawn Patrol Boardwalk sealed that she got at a used record store. And I'm thinking, you do not open those and you do not cut them up.
Yeah, I mean, can't they just make a photocopy? Like, I would never cut the album cover up.
Well, they usually get stuff that with really beat up vinyl is what they'll do. But man, that the Boardwalk, it's got a hype sticker on it, and it's a good version of the Big Life album cover. And if you go on her Facebook page, which she might have posted them on our page, I don't know, but I was on her Facebook page earlier tonight, and they did a 7 Wishes snare. Is it on our page yet, Josh?
No,
I haven't been on today. And well, she's gonna post it, and it's fantastic looking.
Yeah.
So, but what she does is, I think she's in Minnesota, and they do a charity called Rock from the Heart, and that's what he does these for. They sell them, and I guess they give them to heart patients and what have you. Give the proceeds, which is a great charity. Night Ranger has played there, I think, twice. She has said.
Yeah. And
I'm looking forward to seeing what Rock from the Heart does this year.
Awesome.
So if you are all wanting these kind of drums, you look for our buddy Amy Piera Johnson on our page, and I'm sure there's a link where you can bid on these or perhaps buy them.
Yeah. I love it.
Good cause. And that is Fans in Motion News.
All right.
Got one more from the page.
That is not Fans in Motion News. We have breaking news from Josh. Josh?
John Reed posted a good thing on the page where he was telling the story about right before his 18th birthday, he got in a car accident and had brain surgery and was in a coma. And when he got out, his dad bought him like 5 tickets to the Man in Motion tour. And him and his buddies got to go, and they made a banner, Night Ranger, Reason to Be, and Jack took it up on stage and hung it over the drum kit and stuff. So it's a very, very good, story that John was able to share from, going from a low to a high, and but a good story that John Reed shared. We got a couple contests we need to take care of here.
Let's do it.
Let me get rid of these
letters.
I really got to look at the page in depth. I hadn't seen that yet.
All right, so this is from the I think the Kelly Kagi Part 3. We were doing the call sheet and the set list from Scottsdale, Arizona, donated by our buddy John Haynes.
Yeah.
We got entering into the contest: Robin Ludite, Kathy Lane, Michael Smith, Patrick Fitzgerald, Emily Medler, Dave Glazer. Boom, 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 boom. Shaky.
I'm going to predict Robin and Glazer.
Well, there's only one. I'm just going to... They get both. I'm not shipping both. All right,
I'm predicting Robin.
Yeah, you should have stuck with your original answer.
Oh, Dave.
Dave Glazer wins the set list.
All right, Dave. Congrats.
Sheet. And then I'm going to go ahead and do last week's, which is the Rick Savage pick.
Yeah.
And the REO Speedwagon Dave Amato pick. John Davey, Patty Soros, Ranger MP, which I do have his real name, but that's what it is on the YouTube. Richard Jenkins and Emily Medler. So here we go. Put them in the thing. Shaky. Let's do Dave Amato, REO Speedwagon. Here we go. Emily Medler, REO Speedwagon.
Congrats, Emily Medler.
And we do one
Longtime
more
fan in
for
motion.
the Def Leppard, Richard Jenkins. So there we go.
Congrats, winners.
And we got another cool giveaway that was donated to us to do this. Mr. I know you got a nickname for him, Brent. Mr. Dwayne Vickers, one of our good members on the page, donated this baggage tag.
That's sweet looking.
All right, so I would say, listen, if you want to be entered into the drawing, leave a comment on the YouTube page and give us your rankings of Midnight Madness on the YouTube page. You give us your rankings, I will put you in the contest for this. Again, continental U.S. because I can't ship everything overseas. So I apologize, but thanks, Dwayne, for donating that.
Those are really cool, Dwayne.
And there we go.
All right, so that's it. We're wrapping up this pregame.
Yeah, so you get to listen as Andy, Brent, myself, and Mr. Eric Levy,
the legend,
rank our favorite tunes from Midnight Madness. Yeah. Everybody wants to rank, but nobody. Welcome to another episode of Fans in Motion, and today joining Andrew and Brent and I is the keyboardist for Night Ranger, Mr. Eric Levy. Eric, welcome back. You've been on the podcast so much. You're pretty much, along with David Lauser, you're pretty much just part of the family.
Yeah.
So we expect you here next week.
Outstanding.
We love it.
So
thanks for having me back. Yeah,
thanks for coming on.
It's always a blast.
For anyone new listening, Eric has been a friend and a big supporter of the podcast from the very beginning. Right towards the beginning, we'd done a 2-part interview with Eric where basically it's, this is your life. Eric tells us, how he got into music and how, his Northern Illinois Husky blood runs through him. And so if you haven't listened to those, go back and listen to those. At the beginning of the year, we did a great episode where Eric plays all his favorite Fitz riffs. So we hear Eric playing all those great classic Night Rangers classics. So me and Eric got to talking a few days ago. I'm like, what do we do next? And I came up with the idea. I was like, Eric, why don't we rank your employer's previous work? That's always a good idea. and
it's a great way to put it.
He's going to have technical difficulties any second now.
I'm like, yeah, let's just rank Midnight Madness. And Midnight Madness is a great album because it's as I ranked the albums in one of our previous podcasts, I said it was the number 1 all-time Night Ranger album. Those two yahoos did not, but it is. It is the ultimate number 1 Night Ranger album, and every song on there is great. That's what's going to make it so hard to rank these. And it's just, we can rank them however we like. Personal, if we were doing this like as a history or a documentary, Sister Christian, obviously the most important song on that record. But we're not doing that. It's just, what do we like in 2021? And Eric may be ranking them of how do I not get called into the office by my employer.
My criteria is going to be, so some of these songs I have interesting reasons why they're ranked, where they're ranked that other people might not consider. So
yeah, you're going.
It's all just in the spirit of enjoyment, right?
Yeah,
yes.
Till Brad runs
Easy
into
for me to say.
Brad runs into the airport.
What
the fuck you saying about that?
Now we gotta look at.
Andrew. I'm going to let you run the rankings.
Done and done.
I'll let you.
I was just changing my rankings, actually.
I'll let you.
I'm still not totally sure of my rankings. So.
Yeah, well, obviously neither is Andy.
Neither am I. I have a reason for it. It's no big deal, but I just changed it to personal.
It took me less than 5 minutes. I just went boom.
Well, like you said, Josh, this album, at least, I mean, for Eric, it's work. For us, it's fans. So
it's
growing up with this.
My job and my hobby are like, I have so much gray area. It's right. Yeah, it's been my job, but it's also been just extraordinary for me to just, especially in the process of this pandemic, to just be like, all right, come up with stuff and hope they like it. It's like I was so encouraged the whole time to come up with creative stuff. Just really, it's really wonderful. Well, I had a blast doing it.
For us, I mean, especially Brent and I, because we're older than Josh. This album was a soundtrack to our high school years. I mean, the whole album. This was everything to us. And then, so these are all. It's hard to put them in order of 1 through 9. They're all they're all ones. They're all great, but I labored over it, and I do have I have them in an order. Not happy with it. It's what it is. So,
almost 40 years old.
God,
thanks, Josh.
I remember the day I bought that, and I remember the minute I opened it up, I looked to see if they mentioned Kiss on it, since they were on tour with Kiss the year prior, and I was so happy.
Always priority.
And a lot of people miss the 6th member of the band that's on the cover, Buzzy. A lot of people don't remember Buzzy. So there's Brad, and if you look right over his shoulder,
I never noticed that. Whoa,
Buzzy.
I never noticed that before.
He's a leftover from Saturday Night Live when they all dressed like the Bad News Bees. He was buzzing off.
But this was really the album that catapulted Night Ranger to another level. Came out, I think, October of '83. First single, You Can Still Rock in America. And obviously, Sister Christian, 1984 was when it hit. You had When You Close Your Eyes, another top 40 hit. And it's got just, I won't say deep cuts, but it's got tracks that Night Ranger still plays today that were really never singles. Rumors, Touch of Madness, Let Him Run have all been throughout the set list throughout the years. And then what do you remember the conversation, Eric, that that management or Jack or who had the conversation with you when they brought up the idea of doing the Dawn of Madness?
Wow, when did I first? I can't remember.
Or just make up a story that it was your idea.
Yeah, it was mine.
I think the first time I'm remembering hearing about it was we were in a RV backstage somewhere, and Jack was like, "Hey, what would you think about doing a Dawn of Madness?" At that time, we didn't have that name for it yet. But he's like, what would you think about it doing a double album show? And I was like, yeah, that would be great. That would,
because that would have been
that would really be great. Yeah, I was way into the idea, and it took a while. And then Brad's the one who came up with the name. I remember the Dawn of Madness.
There you go. Some more.
So when are we going to get the Big Wishes tour? I'm just saying. That's a free. You could have that one.
But that was.
There's only 2 combinations.
I'm just saying.
7 Life.
That's great.
So that was probably the first time though doing the Dawn of Madness that you had played tracks like What Does Love Have to Change, maybe Chipping Away. Well, I'd probably Chipping Away and Why Does Love Have to Change for sure, but I would assume maybe Passion Play. Would be one that, or Let Him Run. I know Night Ranger really hadn't included that in the set for a while. Do you remember what thoughts did you have, or do you remember anything in particular about, or maybe we should save this for when you actually rank the songs. I don't want to go too much
Let's get started.
I can say enough that I think Let Him Run was the first of the, like, if there's 3 tiers of, I was thinking about it this way earlier today, like, okay, you know, if there's 3 tiers of this album, which are the ones that, there's the 3 that are played most every show, and then there's the 3 that kind of rotate in and out, and then there's 3 that aren't played so often. But in that case, because we did the acoustic album back in 2012, I think we played Let Him Run.
Yeah.
So I actually learned that one, and we played a condensed version of it for acoustic, but I learned that way earlier than I learned Chipping Away. I'd never played until, actually, I was hoping Chipping Away, you could tell me. Did Night Ranger ever play? Because I know I had never played that one before Dawn of Madness.
Yeah, they did.
Did they ever play that live?
On that tour, on the Midnight Madness tour, they definitely played it.
Did they play Why Does Love Have to Change on that tour?
I think they played every song on that album.
I don't recall. All I know is when we did our show about our live shows, our concert experiences, and my infamous date with Shannon Reiners, she was singing Chipping Away at Riverbend, and I was like, I don't know if I love you or I love you. Because you're a hot chick from my high school, and you're singing a song that I love.
That you had no chance with.
Oh, absolutely.
None.
That would be the only tour that Chipping Away and Why Does Love Have to Change were probably ever played, besides the Dawn of Madness. They did play Let Him Run on the Man in Motion tour. And on the Feeding Off the Mojo tour, they played Let Him Run as well. Really? The '95 tour of that
with Jeff, right? Was Jeff involved at that point? Jeff Watson?
Not during the Mojo years. That would have just been Brad and Kelly and Gary Moon.
Wow!
But they would do an acoustic set in the middle, kind of like what they did on the Man in Motion tour. They would do an acoustic set, and they would do Let Him Run during those. Not that they haven't maybe done it since then. I just can't say for sure. But I do know almost for 99% that Chipping Away and Why Does Love Have to Change, if they played it on that Midnight Madness tour, they never played it again till Dawn of Madness. Which is probably like most of their songs, because you've got, when you have a band like Night Ranger has a good amount of hits, there's very little space to throw in, deep cuts and stuff like that. So, all right, Andy.
Yes.
Lead us around the horn.
Present. All right. Coming in for me, my number 9 off the greatest album is Chipping Away. It has to be somewhere, and again, to me these are all ones. But there's a 1 and there's a bunch of 2s. This is a great album. It is not a knock on this song at all. It just, something has to be 9. I'll go with Chipping Away.
I'm surprised.
I know.
We used to sing this as kids all the time.
But
really?
But what do I sacrifice?
I'll tell you what you sacrifice when it gets my turn.
All right, so let's go with Josh. You go next. Number 9.
Well, I will do the same as you, Andrew. Chipping Away. And they obviously thought probably the same, because it was the B-side to Sister Christian.
I didn't know that either.
Lyrically, I mean, I like it. It's a good song, and I guess maybe I just don't like. I mean, I guess I shouldn't even say I don't like. I like the song. It's just, again, every song is great. It's not the strongest. Kelly Kagi has come on record and saying it's the song he doesn't like. But probably the part of the song I like, it has one of the best bridges. The part where it's kind of slow, and it's the lyrics are, I never learned how I should choose with situations often used in love and all its masquerading ways. So it's kind of, it flows, but then it gets a little bit heavier with the I'm living off my second chance of finding out there's that part right there.
It builds.
And then it just gets to chip away. It's so hard each day. dun dun dun. You know, that right there.
Yeah, it goes up a whole step too.
Yeah,
Modulates there.
It just look at the. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Eric. And that's.
There is no way you're ever going to say it modulates a whole step.
I was just getting it right here on my thing. Modulates a whole
Eric
step.
stepped on it, didn't he?
Yeah.
But that right there that's great. That almost, wants me to put it up higher. But yeah, it's my 9. But that part of the song is just fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Brent, if you have a number 9, what would that be?
You're going to make our guest go last?
Yeah.
Well, for right now.
Sure.
Well, he's still got to make his list. He's trying to play off of us.
Yeah, it makes it easier for me if I hear what you three say first.
I almost want to say, why does Chipping Away have to be number 9? But I'm going to say, why does Love have to change?
Yeah, I thought you were going to go that way. That's fine. I don't disagree with you.
I don't dislike the song, but I hate ranking one of my. I mean, I love ranking them and I hate ranking them at the same time.
It's like,
hey Brent, which of your 2 daughters do you like best? It's like
Madison. Totally a joke. It was totally a joke.
It's like someone giving you like nine Playboys and saying, "Hey, rank these," and it's like, I like
which one has more pages stuck together.
The one that has Shannon Tweed in it would be number 1.
I like them all.
The Debbie Gibson one was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Very bet.
Andy knew it.
All right.
Eric,
you
have a 9, sir.
Do you have
number 9?
Do you have a favorite
I'm
playmate?
Gonna say, same sentiment as all of you. That it's like every time I've played any of these songs, it's been at these Dawn of Madness double album. So it's every time I've played all 9 of these songs, it's been a blast. I've been having a great time. So it's like my number 9 is something that I have a great time playing. And that said, it's the Chipping Away.
Yes.
And when we were preparing to do this Dawn of Madness, Kelly asked me, he's like, "Hey, can you sample that anvil and you play it?" And I told him I was like, I would be happy to, but it's going to look a lot less cool with me playing, doing this on a keyboard than it would be if you're like standing up on a riser with an anvil, Is it going to look like a little anticlimactic? But in the end, we're faithful to the sound of the album.
Yeah.
I pulled the sample directly from the intro.
Oh, that's awesome.
I never knew it was an anvil. I just thought it was a pipe.
I could be mistaken.
No, I just always thought it was a pipe,
Wow.
I mean, keep in mind, it's probably the second most famous song that starts out with some kind of a hammer on something.
Remember we used to hold our biggest ride cymbal we have and smack that bell when we'd play it in the garage,
Yeah.
Chipping Away, co-written by Jack and Brad, who will now be cornering Eric, going, WTF, man, WTF.
Well, I would love to know why Kelly doesn't like it, so maybe we'll get into that.
Well, Kelly, it's like I said, it was in that article or whatever. From what I understand, they needed one more song, and it was the last song to go on the record. It was a little rushed.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Don't quote me, but that's kind of the general consensus of what he said. Because the other two guys chose "I Did It for Love" as their least favorite song, and obviously everybody knows the reason why for that. So, number 9, 3 out of 4 for Chipping Away.
Yeah. All right. So for me, number 8 is just, again, I'll steal Brent's little bit of thunder. Is "Why Does Love Have to Change?" I love this song, and again, do I flip with Chipping Away? I don't know. It depends on what day it is. They're great songs. So, very anticlimactic. It's just "Why Does Love Have to Change?"
My number 8. Now, again, this I was young, but I had this album. Well, I had my aunt's album that I stole basically all the time in 1983, 84. So it's I've had it pretty much since it's come out as well. and you asked me when I was 7 years old, I would have a different list. You asked me when I'm 17, 37, the list would change some. And at one time, my number 8 would have been Why Does Love Have to Change?
Yeah.
But it's not now. Just, again, your likes and ears and everything change. My number 8 is Passion Play.
Oh, come on.
Well, again, you got to compare it to the other songs.
He's on the pod.
And with Passion Play, it's like...
This song is so good.
Well, 20 years ago, it might have been probably in my top 3, but now it's not Touch of Madness. It's not one of those iconic hits. And not that I think, you could have issues with... To me, the production of it, like there's this part where I think they go into the chorus and the drums play this prominent point, but the drums really don't take off. They're still so buried where they, if they, to me, it should have been brought up when he does that drum. It's still a great song, but,
well, mine's not that much further down the list. I didn't think it would be 8.
But you asked me 20 years ago, it might've been 3, but right now it's Passion Play.
Brentry?
My number 8 is sponsored by Dr. Pepper, and it would be Sister Christian.
Whoa.
Hey.
That fell quick.
Well, you know what? It's like Andy and I were speaking before we got online with you two, and it is the most iconic Night Ranger song probably in the catalog. Okay? Doesn't mean I don't love it. I think it's brilliant. It's just I have heard it for almost 40 years. I mean...
That was quick. Kelly just texted me.
No.
We're done with the interview.
I love the song, but if I mean, like I said, if I had my druthers, I'd rather hear Chipping Away. Sorry, I would, just because I've heard it so many times.
Yeah. No need to apologize. I completely respect where you're coming from.
I get it.
Because I love the song. I absolutely love it. It's like when people were complaining about Dr. Pepper using it and doing their little thing on it. I'm like, they did it because it's iconic. You got to celebrate how iconic the song is to be used in a national commercial.
Hey, guys, hold on. Kelly's called me.
Oh, I thought he's full of shit. Yeah. We can't hear you. I liked it better that way, by the way.
Yeah, that was Kelly. He's not happy whatsoever. He said, I actually can't even quote. I didn't know he knew those words.
He would agree with me. I think he would agree with me. He'd be like, yeah.
No, he did not.
Yeah. Because he knows I love Revelation so much. Of 7.
Eric, which employer are you going to get pissed off at you next? Number 8.
Oh, this is a tough one. Even after hearing everybody, yeah. I guess I'm actually, well.
Play it, Eric. Play it.
Oh, this is so cool.
I have to look at my song list here.
If it's Rumors in the Air, I'm going to come through the screen.
No, it can't be Rumors. That one's too fun.
Yeah.
That's. Oh, it's.
He's gonna play that iconic piano noise in a minute. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to do the.
He's gonna do.
The
Passion Play.
The Passion Play, but I will say that the guitar solo section at the end is like just some of the best. Some of the best of Night Ranger to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you've got the I think Brad Wright is playing wow, I should really know that. is playing the chords, but I'm doubling unison with Jack. So it's like the chords imply A flat, B flat, C minor, but I'm playing with Jack Yeah, like that section to me, that's like that's great. Like that's just like that's up there with everything to me. That what I've heard, I won't name any names, is the way that it sits there the whole time, or from start to finish, it basically has the same groove. There's never like really a breakdown of any kind. The verse feel, and it just doesn't translate as well to live performance. Yeah. But that said, it's the times that we play it, it's I think because that end of the song, though, especially, I think it's like, okay, if everything's been sitting here for a while, steady, then at least at the end, it's like we're really lifting the energy.
Yeah.
And if you notice, me and Eric's list are exactly the same. So see, I'm in tune with the dudes from Night Ranger.
I'm copying you, but thanks for the alibi.
I believe that. I'm going to believe that since he's going fourth.
Now it's making sense.
It's like, I'm going to listen to these three idiots, and then I'm going to be like, I'll see if I want to team up with them or just go my own way.
Andrew, number 7.
Well, it's like I said, mine wasn't much further down the list. So number 7 for me is Passion Play. So I wasn't that far off from you guys. But I can't add anything to it that the guy who plays keyboards on it hasn't already done. So I can't top that. I could try to play the drums, but nobody would understand it. So.
Oh no, I'm not trying to top anybody.
I swear. Passion Play. Josh, do you have a 7?
My number 7 is Rumors in the Air.
Oh, for God's sake. Horse shit.
Well, why don't you tell him to go eat a bag of something, Andy?
So, again...
Yeah, I know. I can't say it.
Again, it's something we've heard a lot of live. It does have the best opening line to a song. Used to call me by my first name. Now you never even call me at all.
Yes.
But
lyrics are great.
Keyboards
are great. Guitar is great.
Well, it is great, but it's just not as great as the other ones. It's great 1.7.
I don't even know you.
And Jack even gets a call back to himself. You say it, Jack. Come on.
Yep. Well,
you can't vote against a song like that.
I just did.
You can't.
Just did. Brent, what is your number 7?
Well, I'm going to look into the camera. Jack, I heterosexually love you to death. Okay? I used to wear your aqua blazer as a kid.
So what you're saying is there's a limit to your love.
And I got, I had the bandanas. Man, I worshiped you. I never had a Night Ranger necklace. I still need one of those. Maybe you guys can dig through the archives and find me one. I'll pay you for it. But what Josh can't do, is vote for that song that he did. What I did was I voted for You Can Still Rockin' America.
That's just as insane.
It is insane, and I knew it was insane. But when I started listening to stuff, I worked my way from 1 back. I'm like, Rockin' America, number 7. I'm like, I'm going to catch so much shit.
I can't.
It's the anthem.
I start the number 2 Night Ranger podcast with 2 other people.
But
that know what the hell they're talking about.
If we were doing a Kiss podcast, you would say Rock and Roll All Night real early because of the same reasons.
Dead to me. Dead to me. Eric. Please bring this back to me.
My turn.
Yes.
Eric, come on come to the dark side.
Come on, Eric. This is in tough territory to say. Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
now.
I should have practiced before. I should have practiced before this.
You need a prop like a beer bottle there or something. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's hard though to have to say just because it's my number 7, like this is a blast, absolutely. And the reason it's a blast is because when we were learning the music for the Dawn of Madness, and we were rehearsing, we were hanging out somewhere, Wisconsin, and I think we got rained out, and it was me and Perry and Brad sitting around learning Why Does Love Have to Change, and I was just padding out the chords because I thought that's, what it sounds like is happening. Keyboard sustains. And Brad was like, "Hey, can you do that with your left hand and play with us in your right hand?" I was like, "Sweet, yeah, okay." So, but I got to practice though. Yeah, that song is a total blast, and it's what I also love about that song, having it available in a set, is that just like instantly picks up the energy.
Yeah,
because it's up tempo.
Yeah,
really
and
picks things up.
Totally get it.
And Eric talks highly of that song. Yet the two experts, Andy and Brent, have that on their list. Yeah, Passion Play, Rivers in the Air.
Yeah, but Andy and I were trying to make it to that Wisconsin show. So bad.
The rained out Wisconsin show.
Yeah. I thought it was in a theater. It was in a theater that you guys were playing, and then it was a Dawn of Madness show because I was in Chicago.
That was the show. He's talking about rehearsing.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about
and, like earlier on rehearsing.
But
right?
Andy was going to Aruba or something like that, and just couldn't fly. Teresa was going to have to fly before you.
I would have to fly separately to a Caribbean vacation, and that was just.
Yeah, sounds legit.
That was that's not going to fly with my better half.
Well, hey,
yeah,
you know
the vacation's going to go more smoothly. If
I have unfortunately forced us to move vacations because I had bought concert tickets for other shows when we were supposed to go. So we had to move vacations. Like, I can't do it again.
Invoke that for worst clause. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that? For better or worse, this is the worst. I'm going to Wisconsin.
She's like, well, I'm going to Aruba, and someone's going with me.
Well, you can go there, and you guys can work out all the shit that you're going through since you went and saw Night Ranger earlier. Number 6, Andy.
Yeah. It's all shot to hell now. My number 6 is Let 'Em Run. And I know we're getting into just tough territory here. These are all just – I don't have a problem with any of these songs. I just had to put them somewhere. My top 3 are there. Those are legit. But everything else could have all been interchanged. I mean, Let 'Em Run is just such a great song. I don't even want to rank it. It's such a good song. And again, we were lucky enough. Our local radio station actually played this song. We had a rock station that wasn't top 40. It played whatever they wanted back in the day. And you would hear Let 'Em Run on the radio. And we were like, holy shit.
And they're still around, but now all they do is play
AC/DC and Led Zeppelin.
Bush. No, they still play Bush and the same crap everybody else is playing.
So Let 'Em Run. Josh, disappoint me.
Well, so far my list has pretty much been right. I'm the one who's ranking this song the highest, and Eric has said it's great to play live because it gets the crowd into it. My number 6 is Why Does Love Have to Change? Now,
Eric's wrong sometimes.
Yeah, well, you're about ready to get turned off this podcast. Eric is a national treasure, and I better not hear that come out of your mouth again. Why Does Love Have to Change? If you would ask me when I was 6, 7 years old, that was probably my least favorite song on the album. If you asked me 20 years ago, it'd been chipping away in that song. It's just within the last 15 years or so that it's really growing on me. And if you're listening to this and you're at home thinking, holy shit, Brent and Andy don't know what they're talking about, number one, you are correct. But make your own list and get yourself don't listen to the album on your phone. Go sit in front of some big-ass speakers, nice speakers. Put your Night Ranger, Midnight Madness CD or your vinyl on and listen to these songs and hear everything. And when you do that, you will appreciate Why Does Love Have to Change more. It's, number one, it's got the dual guitars, and it comes out just rocking. No anvil or whatever, and no acoustic guitar. It's just, bam, here it is. Kelly's vocals are awesome. It's a great song, too. It's one of the kind of unique songs, I mean, especially maybe more back then, that Jack totally wrote and Kelly sings.
Sorry about that.
And it's got that kind of like that dual guitar solo, kind of like Sing Me Away, but even heavier. So to me, it's got, it's heavier than what you think. And that also translates live, just kind of like what you were saying, Eric, to where Passion plays kind of just, the same level, to whereas Why Does Love Have to Change just comes out and smacks you in the face. So my number 6, or whatever number we're on.
Yeah, 6.
Why Does Love Have to Change?
So let me correct you real quick, though. You're saying that rocks harder than Rumors in the Air, just based on your list? I'm just trying to keep.
Oh, yeah. Here. Oh, yeah. It rocks harder.
You're wrong! Go ahead, Brent.
First of all, don't be ripping on the anvil, dude. Don't be ripping on the anvil.
Well, Eric, hold on, Brent. Eric, the best part of that song, and you'll probably know exactly where I'm talking about, is that little instrumental right between the verses and the chorus, where dun dun dun, like Why Does Love? That little instrumental right before it. If you listen, it's one of those things you've heard a million times, and you don't really think about it. It's only 2 seconds long, but go listen to Why Does Love Have to Change, and right before they get to the chorus, they just do this quick 2-second
But that guitar thing was like, yeah. It's like he's like really just holding some note and bending it or something.
Well, that might have been more towards the more towards the guitar. So this is just a couple power chords, but it's just I'm not going to do it.
Right.
I don't play that part, but it's I think is but guitar's chugging that out like it's killer moment.
It's just like 2 or 3 seconds, but just find it. It's just right at the end of the verses, right before they get to the chorus of Why Does Love Have to Change. Kicks ass. Brent, you're number 6.
Are you sure you're done now?
I am sure. Or actually, maybe we'll have Eric do 6. Eric, you want to do 6?
Am I doing 6?
Go, Brent.
Go for it.
Okay. Josh, you kind of made my point when you were talking about Why Does Love Have to Change. Like 20 years ago wouldn't have been your number 1. It's because you've heard all the other songs so many more times because you skipped that song more often. That's how I kind of base my list off of what I'm doing. That's why Rockin' America was 7, and I hated putting it there. But my number 6 is going to be, or 7 is going to be, 6.
6.
Passion Play.
All right.
Are the rest? Is everybody keeping score of what everybody else's list are?
I do. I have yours, Eric.
I can rip on them. There'll be notes after the show's over.
Oh yeah, and Josh reminds us of what we said 8 months ago.
I hate to do it too, but right, there's got to be a number 6. So. Oh, but the great thing about this is that it's just gonna work. Yeah. So when we open the show with this one, we don't do it. But when we do the Dawn of Madness, then I get to do the music, the Demented music box.
Oh, don't do
this. And I've got it triggered so that with my foot pedal, I can start dipping the pitch, part way through. And just keep playing it, but have the pitch getting demented. And by that point, Brad's in.
Oh, this hurts my heart, Eric. This hurts my heart. I'm just saying.
It's tough to say too, because so many times we'll open a show with that song, and it's high energy, and it's it's such a such a fun moment. I only put
song.
it there because there has to be a number 6. Yeah,
rocks so hard.
See, it would have been number 4 for him if they could have put the Poltergeist girl, Carol Ann, screaming in it like it's on the studio version.
Oh.
I didn't know that. What? There's somebody screaming on the studio
that movie
version?
Poltergeist?
I didn't even know this.
That little girl in Poltergeist, her name's Carol Ann, and she gets in the TV. They have her screaming "Mommy" at the beginning out of the TV. So if you listen to
Whoa.
you know,
That's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
And I played that thing over and over and over, like, trying to get the timing right. I didn't even notice it.
Go sit in front of some big ass speakers.
Okay.
So real quick, is that little music box? Is that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a song, right? It's something.
Frere Jacques.
That's what I thought, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of bend it and slow it down or whatever.
I don't know how they did the effect back then. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. I've just got it routed with MIDI to a pedal.
And
yeah, I don't know how they did it. How they did that back in the day, though.
I love it when, like, if you're at a concert and the lights go down and you hear that, and I'm like, oh my god! I just start punching people next to me, like, you know what's going on. I'm so excited about that song. Wow. Okay. Number 5. For me, number 5 is "Rockin' America." We're getting down to the really nitty gritty here, and love this song. Like Brent, I think, alluded to, we've heard it so many times. I still don't get tired of hearing "Rockin' America." I still think it's just a great song, but I have 4 in front of it that I think are a little bit better. So, "Rockin' America" is my number 5 because I can still "Rockin' America."
I'm kind of right with Eric. My number 5 is "Touch of Madness."
I think there's some collusion here.
Yeah.
Again, it's got to be somewhere. Perfect opening song. It's the live version on Man in Motion is excellent. Brad's guitar solo on the end of that live version is just monstrous. But there's nothing else I can really say that hasn't been said about "Touch of Madness." Just a great song. There's just others I rank higher.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Brent.
Number 6.
5.
Because I love seeing Josh hanging by the window is "Chip It Away."
Wow. That is sitting high for Brent.
Love "Chipping Away." It could have been "Passion Play" or "Chip It Away," either one of those,
Yeah.
right there, because it's the same caliber of song to me.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, we've already talked about it. There's really not much we can add at this point.
Exactly.
Eric?
More Anvil.
Is it my turn again?
The man.
It is your turn again. You're on the spot.
What's he going to surprise us with now?
Number 5.
I'm looking at the song list. This is tough. I'm gonna say
He needs 2 hands for it. He needs 2 hands. That means it starts with an S.
I'm gonna go with a.
Oh!
Yeah, even though that is like enormously fun to play.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That is just like cool. Thank you, Mr. Fitz. Thank you.
That's just so much fun.
That's such a fun keyboard moment. Yeah.
It's such a great rockin' song, man.
Man.
Yeah, it really is. I always have a blast with that one. And I've got some fun samples I'll throw in here and there. That's going into the choruses. I trigger that one. And got that for the pre-choruses.
And that's why
that's a really fun one.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. All right. So to my number 4, is it me?
It is you, number 4, Andrew.
Number 4, it's Sister Christian. Similar to Rockin' America, it's hard to fairly judge this song, and we talked about it when we ranked stuff before. This song is just you can't separate the fact that you've heard it thousands of times, so it kind of loses its luster. But it's still such a beautifully written song. It's a great song, and it's so iconic. I mean, even today, like when I was walking out of work today, I said the name Night Ranger. I was like, "Oh, Sister Christian," and I'm like, "They've done a few other things, but yes, yes, you're correct, Sister Christian." So it's number 4 for me. Only for the reason I've heard it so many times that other songs and I also think of my rankings is when I'm at a show, what songs do I want to hear? And could I go without ever hearing Sister Christian at a live show? Maybe, because the ones I got above it, I just have to hear. But I know I'm going to hear Sister Christian. So I don't have to worry about it. So that's my number 4. Josh?
My number 4 is what I think is the first Night Ranger song ever written, Let Him Run.
Nice.
Definitely a song ahead of its time, where most songs from the 80s are, Sweet 16 and Girls and Cars and everything. And, this song's totally different. It's,
it's mature.
Yeah, kick this dude to the curb. You don't need him. Just something that was really ahead of its time and different and a good.
Well, Jeff's playing on that. Jeez.
Yeah, that's like I know I said in the previous episode, I'd love just have Jeff and Kelly do a record. Just Jeff's acoustic playing. Like stuff like Goodbye, Let Him Run, Reason to Be, the beginning of that. Just there's something magical about Jeff's acoustic playing and Kelly's voice. Yeah, my number 4 is Let Him Run.
There. Solid. I appreciate that one. Brentry?
My number 4 is ditto with Josh. Let Him Run.
Yeah. Hard to argue with it. I mean, I had it ranked lower, but just for other selfish reasons.
Yeah. Like I said, these are songs I don't skip at this point. If it comes on, if I have a shuffle of Night Ranger on, I'm like, oh, I can't skip that. Oh, I can't skip that.
Jack, Brad, Kelly, I don't skip anything.
You know what I do?
Let you guys know.
What I do with Let 'Em Run, I love to do this to people that say when I say Night Ranger, and they always go, "Oh, Sister Christian." So then I'll play Let 'Em Run, and they go, "Oh my God, I love that song." I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like you're allowed to listen to other songs because their catalog is incredible. So, Eric, my man, let's see what you do here.
Don't feel like you it all has to be rosy and all that for. I won't tell anybody. They'd have to actually watch this.
Well, it's true. That's how
I guess they would have to watch it.
Oh, what am I even gonna? This is tough. Yeah, getting into like what's number 4 gonna be territory. But where are you? Where's this song? Oh, this is a.
The best.
Oh yeah, it's hard to choose a number 4, but there's for tonight at least.
Eric,
that's
exactly for tonight.
When you close your eyes,
Eric, that's the first time I've pretty much am putting you in the same category as Andy and Brent, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That is
an acceptable response.
That is not a number 4. I don't care. But I digress. Andy,
what happened to his national treasure designation?
You know what? That was 10 minutes.
That can come and go.
Now he's like Nicolas Cage
around here.
Treasure.
Andy, number 3.
All right, so this is where it gets real tricky for me. I changed this while we were pre-showing, talking to Eric. My number 3 is When You Close Your Eyes. It was not my number 3. I have an argument for this song as being the greatest Night Ranger song, but
I'm ranking it 3.
Like, huh?
But I'm ranking it 3.
Well, so here's the thing. Like Brent said, and I never skip this song because I love this song.
Yeah.
But like I said, when I'm at a concert, there's things when I hear Rumors starting, or Touch of Madness, I sort of lose my mind on those songs. I just do, and I think this song falls victim to the Sister Christian. It's the same. I've heard it so many times. The excitement's not there that it used to be. But Rumors and Touch get me just kind of like, man, I'm amped. Like I just want to start shaking things when I hear those songs. So When You Close Your Eyes comes in at number 3 for me, only for that reason. It was previously number 1 until we started talking to Eric before the show.
Oh no, I love that song. I didn't even have that. Just
well, you didn't sway me.
The only reason I just chose it was because my eyes gravitated toward it on my set list here. I love that song.
And you didn't sway me. It just when I started thinking about whenever we do these lists, I always think of do I want to live in a world? If I had to live in a world that didn't have certain things, I don't want to live in a world that doesn't have When You Close Your Eyes and Rumors and Touch of Madness, and so that's where I'm at. So anyway, I'm done. Josh,
in a world where there's no touch of madness.
If they dropped that song though, Andy, you'd miss.
I would, but
you'd miss Jack doing this because we always do it.
Yeah.
You know, I dated a girl named Angie just so I could have her coming closer to me.
Oh.
I did. I was like, should I date her? I'm like, her name's Angie. I dated Angela, who I thought I was going to get away with it, but she hated being called Angie. So I didn't, 2 birds, 1 stone thing. Didn't get it on that one. So there's another girl I was thinking about dating. I was like, Angie, When You Close Your Eyes, and yeah, it was probably some of the best 2 months of my life.
Your mic's still on, right? We heard all of that.
Yeah, it's a good story.
That wasn't in your head.
Hang on, I'm going to tell my daughter something.
You didn't give her the Angela. Did you get Tony Danza on her? Angela.
Huh? I know. I'm using your list with my list. She's all excited. I told her that she would keep an open mind with her list if she gave it to you.
All right, Josh.
All right.
So number 3.
Number 3, it's going to be Rockin' America. Again, nothing that none of us have not said, I guess. Just you think you've heard it enough, and then you get in front of those big ass speakers, and put your vinyl or your CD on, and you hear it, and it's just like it's all over again. Fitz, his playing along with Jeff and Brad's just fantastic. So just. You think you want to put lower in the list, but like I said this morning, when I got the big ass speakers fired up and the vinyl going, it's like, and those guitars are just beating against your chest. I'm like, yep, I can't rank that any lower than 3. So, Rockin' America, number 3.
I'll allow it. Brent?
Well, what do you do when Josh's list is falling apart and you knew it was going to be gone from the very start? You pick When You Close Your Eyes.
All right, chipping away 5.
Hey, I had a good segue to it.
That was well done, Brent.
I just made that up. I just made it up on the spot,
Yeah, you couldn't tell.
No, When You Close Your Eyes. Yeah, I know. I ain't that good.
It's still my line, Andy. God damn it.
Well, if Eric's not going to step on it, I'm going to step on it.
Eric,
am I up? This is number 3, right?
Yep.
3.
Number 3.
All right. So I guess. Oh, but I love this song. I'll go with "Let 'Em Run," and mostly because it has a minor 6th chord in it. Which is just like so.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
Yeah.
That's the only Night Ranger, at least that I'm. At least of songs that I've played, that has that I can think of that has a minor 6th. But I love the harmonies. There's the minor 6th, A major, D minor 6th, but then it goes back to like diatonic harmony. Brilliant.
I don't even know what that means.
What's that?
Important.
Diatonic harmony.
Oh, sorry.
That's insane.
What podcast am I?
Yeah, are you talking to 2 drummers and Josh?
So the major scale sounds like
I got a shot for diatonic.
That would be the A major scale right there. And so when the harmony's like in this A major D minor D minor 6-ish, it's like, ooh, some intriguing, some harmonic movement we don't usually hear, but then they bring it back with diatonic harmony. Yeah. A, E over G sharp, F sharp minor 7.
Eric, just play like 30, because I think, when we hear that song, we always think of the acoustic and the vocals. Can you just play what you were playing there, just 20 seconds of it or so?
Yeah, sure. Cool. And then I just have to try and get out of there in a hurry for that break.
Yeah.
I have to try and end it earlier because I've got so much reverb on it. Because when we were working on it originally, they're like, "Can you more reverb?" I'm like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, more reverb." So I just like maxed it out, like max reverb. But it's it's like it really fills things out. But then I'm trying to like get out of there in time, so I duck my volume pedal and try and get out like a little bit early, so that the note's not completely trailing off.
It's just amazing. We've heard Let Him Run 38 years, and you just get a different appreciation just hearing just that small part that you played. Like, I've heard that in the song, but it just it's almost like its own musical piece just hearing it.
It's beautiful just to listen to. It's very soothing.
It's very. I know. I was awesome. I was soothed, and I glanced down and saw Brent's list, and I was immediately pissed off again.
It always comes back to me. To me, it sounded like the beginning of a movie, like when the movie's getting ready to meet the character. In a world. Yeah, in a world where Brent's list is number one.
Yeah. As keyboard players, we get to pretend that we're other instruments, and it still breaks my heart when I'll like get a call for a recording session, and it's like, "Can you do like strings?" And it's like, yes, I can, but it's never going to sound like it's just hire a real. There are people. Stevie Black's a great example of somebody who it's like record all the string instruments for you, and that's going to be infinitely better than anything I could do. But that being said, it's in the context of live on stage with Night Ranger, when it's like, it's the 5 of us live and I'm the keyboard player, then it's enormous fun getting to pretend that I'm a string section. That's whenever I have an excuse to do that, that's a fun thing to do.
Well, Eric, can I ask that when you like learn this stuff and you're playing this stuff, and I know we've talked about Fitz before, but do you ever sometimes man, that's pretty impressive, Fitz, to put that together and put that arrangement that way?
Absolutely. Yeah, unquestionably.
Because I mean, like Josh said, we've heard that song, and then when you just pull out that part and listen to it, you're like, that is really cool, because it just sits in the background. But if you took it out of the song, you would definitely know it was missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I mean, you get Good, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
Well, you get like the beginning, the very beginning of the song. You hear it, but then you just quickly are then mesmerized by the guitar and Kelly's voice, and you kind of just forget about that. And then when you were playing it, I was like, just like, wow, that's its own piece of music right there. And I feel pissed that I've not paid it more attention throughout my.
No, not at all. It's like if you're, I'm just sitting here now on this podcast with an iPad, which is a wonder of nature. I love my iPad, but like the people with like the real pro cameras, and like you'll see that like they're in the center of the picture, and like they're like super in focus, and then like everything behind them. Actually, Josh, yours is kind of like that. Yeah, it's like your CDs are kind of blurry in the background, like I can see them, but like you're the one who's in focus. Yeah, so it's like if music, it's like that too. So it's like Jeff Watson's, or the guitar, the acoustic guitar in that's the part that's in focus. And the reason why that can be in focus is because keyboards are the providing the blurry foundation for it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good explanation.
Andy,
so we ready?
Andy, you want to do number 2?
So for me, number 2 is Rumors in the Air. It's again, as I stated earlier, I just love these songs, and I'm at a show and I hear that opening, and I'm like, I just lose my mind. I love these songs. It's so just rocking, and I never tire of these songs. I don't know if you guys ever get tired, Eric, of playing the same songs over and over, but there's just songs in my life that I just never tire of hearing, and these are some of them. Well, this whole album literally is that way.
Yeah, and lyrically, Rumors is just like I mentioned earlier, is just a great song lyrically as well.
Well, we've talked. I mean, part of the reason I think that we all gravitate towards this band is I don't know of another band that writes the way that these guys write, lyrically, melodies. I don't know. Maybe there is some. I can't think of one that has that same consistent through line from the beginning of their career to where they are now. You know, like Brent and I talked about when songs would come out like Bye Bye Baby, Not Tonight, or Nothing, No Time to Lose Ya. These are songs that I said to Brent, that's classic Night Ranger. That song could have been on Midnight Madness or Dawn Patrol. That's how I feel about these songs, you know.
I love that song too. No Time to Lose Ya, I love.
It's a great song.
Yeah,
and it sounds
that's one of my favorite songs
on
the album. And I always say "Follow Your Heart." Oh God, that's a great song.
Yeah.
And why we're talking about new songs? Why wasn't the Hell Mountain song on the album? Why was it a bonus track?
That's above my pay grade.
You know what?
Yeah.
When we get Jack on,
See,
it'll be me.
Josh and I agree with that song wholeheartedly.
Get Jack on the blower.
Yeah, Jack will be like, "Hey, Josh, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, Jack, now listen, I don't even have a question. I got a statement," and then I will tell him.
Let me tell you where you're wrong.
But Rumors in the Air, my number 2 would be the song that I always check out my mental health with, because it lets me know that I've still got things under control a little bit, because I'm usually out in public, and just like you said earlier, Andy, I bring up Night Ranger, and they go, "Oh, Sister Christian." And in my head, I see myself choking them, right? Like, there's other folks, 5 top 40 hits, and then I'm punching them while I'm singing the lyrics to 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I'm with you.
But I don't. I just go, yeah, Sister Christian, Night Ranger. So my number 2 is Sister Christian, just because of that. It lets me know, okay, I still got control over myself. I'm not beating that person like I would like to. But Sister Christian, yes, we've heard it a lot.
Sure.
But it's got that iconic Fitz piano at the beginning. It's got what every good Night Ranger song has, where it builds you up.
Yeah.
It just starts out slow and just keeps building.
It's got that right there.
Then you got Kelly's voice kicks in. All right. And then, it's true, boom, boom,
the build.
boom, boom. Okay. Motorin'. I tell you what, you're at the concert and you got 12 beers within you and a pretty girl next to you. You're getting into you're motoring, and it's better than Touch of Madness. It's better.
If you got 12 beers in you, every girl's pretty good looking next to you.
I'm fine with that.
They're all named Angie.
Yeah, they're all named Angie.
Come over here.
I've never had a 10, but I've had 5 2s.
There you go.
Yeah.
But and then Brad's solo. I mean, everybody talks about Brad and the Floyd Rose and the whammy and everything. But that solo is so melodic. I mean, that solo is just almost like a voice. I could, hum that solo just almost word for word like I could the song.
He has great restraint in it because Brad, as we all know, can wail.
Yep.
And he plays what the song needs, which is
absolutely
perfect.
Yeah.
And then
absolutely the use of space too, and
yeah.
And
let the song breathe.
And nothing's rushed in that guitar solo. It's just he lets
you know it's him though. He still lets you know it's him.
And
sure, we're gonna dive a note here.
Yeah.
And then the outro is just it kicks up, and Kelly's voice makes the song. So yeah, it's just we've heard it 100 times, but I like it too because usually that's what you hear on the radio, and there's just something about hearing Night Ranger on the radio, and it's not you playing it, it's someone else, and it's out there, and the rest of the world is hearing it, and you just crank it up in your car. So, Sister Christian is my number 2.
Josh, let me piggyback that real quick, and I know I ranked mine lower, but I'll say this: that not only is that song iconic, but Kelly invented a word with motoring that everybody knows what he means by it. Everybody knows about motoring and driving, and Brent, in our area where we grew up, Eric and Josh, Eastgate Boulevard, you cruised every Friday night, and essentially we were just motoring, man. It was
we did. I'm joking.
Yeah,
you didn't invite me.
No, we'd go over to Eastgate. We'd go to Skyline after the football game, or White Castle because it was next door.
Or
that's what you did.
Out there motoring,
going to drive around town, right? When you're in high school, absolutely.
If you say to anybody motoring, they know exactly what you're talking about, and they know it's Night Ranger.
And you pull up to the corner in the wrong side of town, you can ask them what their price for flight is.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully it's not much. Brent Walter, dearest friend of mine. Let's see what you do here at number 2.
Andy, you and I are very similar in so many regards, and we are so similar. We're more similar on our list than you guys, than it's showing. And number 2 could be interchangeable with number 1 on any given day. But right now, number 2 is, Eric taught me about the Anvil tonight, and I taught him about Carol Ann and the TV set. Touch of Madness is my number 2.
All right. I'll give you that.
Excellent.
But Thursday, it could be number 1 again.
I will allow that. I will allow that.
I never tired of that song. Like Andy said, you hear that intro, and I'm already losing my shit.
Exactly.
I can't. Eric, we're gonna get so close to you this summer, hopefully, that you'll be looking and thinking, why the fuck did I ever come on these guys' show? Look at these little whiny bitches in the front row.
Kind of losing their mind.
He is thinking that now.
Well,
I will not be thinking that. I would not.
No, he'll be like.
I don't think I'll be thinking that.
Yeah.
Why are so many Night Ranger fans, Kiss fans? Look at these idiots.
There'll be little pictures back, posters backstage. Do not let these guys in.
Whoa, that's loud.
I know how to work my way back in there. Don't worry about it.
Oh. I'm just putting my computer back up from sleep. Oh, there it is. Ha. Yeah, okay, for my number 2,
I know what it is already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all. It's what a kicking song that is. So such a fun moment ever. And Brad told me that he's the one who back in the day was like, hey, and it's always me and Jeff, doing playing unison lines together or harmonizing together. And for this one, how about I play chords and Jeff and Fitz, you play a unison together. So it's, at least that's the story that Brad told me. But that's why I get to play that part with Carrie and then crank it out there. Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's all I was going to say. It's iconic.
No, it is.
every show, it used to be back in the flag would drop, and you just knew it, and like that crowd's gonna be jumping and just losing their minds, and again at a time, I mean, they wrote such a great iconic song, and everybody knew. Well, I should say everybody. I like to think everybody knew that song.
Well, speaking of the You Still Rock American, that flag, and now when you at home are watching this will be down the road. But currently, while we're recording this, there is an auction that Night Ranger is holding for their for crew members, and one of the big items that is up for auction, it was like $3,000 or something. Last I saw, $5,000 is the huge American flag that they used on the Midnight Madness tour.
Yeah.
So I would assume that was probably shoved in Jack's barn or something somewhere for a while. Eric, if you ever get a chance and you're out at Jack's, kind of wander off and dig back here and see if you can find me a genie lamp. It's going to be pretty big, you know. But
I've never seen the genie lamp. I've heard about it.
All right. Well, listen. There's a couple George Washingtons with your name on it. If you can get me that.
Yeah, but he don't have that barn anymore.
Huh?
He's in Seattle now, isn't he?
He's got something. It's somewhere. I trust Jack.
He's got a warehouse.
Yeah.
Just like Kiss.
He's got to have something for all that World War II shit he's got. So, so, you know, there is probably like, you know, Japanese flags. You know, he's probably got a Sherman tank and a genie lamp. I don't want the Sherman tank. I want the genie lamp. Andy, number one.
Number one for me is the song I've been talking about all night that just gets me going. It's Touch of Madness. It is, when I started, When You Close Your Eyes was my number one. This was my number two. But the more I think about it, I was like, God, I have to hear the song. I love it when you guys open the show with it. Although I did like it too when you opened with Lay It On Me. I have to admit, that was kind of fun too, because it just come out punching people in the face with
as a rocker.
I was like, whoa. But, man, Touch of Madness is so freaking awesome. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I've told you guys about this. Me and another friend of mine, we put out a little EP of songs, and we called it Touch of Madness. That's what we named our little band. So I love this song.
Oh, outstanding.
I love the song. I love the song. Touch of Madness, number one.
The attorney for Blades Entertainment will be contacting you indirectly, Andrew.
I've already copyrighted it. He didn't have Rough Play Music.
Rough Play Music.
Spelled RUFF.
Named after my dog Piper.
That's right.
The sound the dog makes. Rough. Oh, the sound your mother makes.
Number one.
My number one is the number one all-time iconic Night Ranger song, When You Close Your Eyes. Just it's everything Night Ranger should be. Big melodies, big guitars. You got Jack and Kelly singing on it.
Yeah,
great guitar solo. It's got a monkey in the video, you know. Who the fuck doesn't like monkeys in a video, you know? So, number one, When You Close Your Eyes.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Like I said, it was my number one until before you hit record on the video. Mm-hmm. It was my number one. I just moved it.
And you made a mistake. Brent, number one.
Rumors in the Air.
Oh,
it's everything about that song is perfect, and like I said, when Jack can call back his own name, you say it, Jack, it just makes me smile every time he does it.
Yeah.
You know?
I totally agree. Totally agree.
And the delay that Brad's playing at the beginning with his harmonics, and then Eric's coming in with his part, you know, it just, and the drums, it just builds, and it's got that great little kind of jazzy groove or something going. You can play the, can't you, Eric? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
He's taking requests.
Why not? Yeah.
That's a diatonic progression.
Yeah.
What
I
song
think I got a shot for that too.
Rumors.
Oh, I can turn this back up.
Dun, 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 dun. That.
Yeah.
That's kind of funky.
It's fun.
It is. That's super fun.
And then Kelly comes with those drums, and then boom, it just the song lands.
Yeah.
So that's but still that or Touch of Madness come Thursday could interchange.
Well, and I'll real quick add this on too, Brent. Speaking of my number one, I forgot to mention is Kelly's drumming in Touch of Madness. That whole
yeah.
Oh yeah, the tom groove.
That just because you could so easily just play a straight 4/4 beat and just, but he's just rocking it, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
That's why they call him Boom Boom.
Do they?
Yeah, Kelly Boom Boom Keggy.
King Dong Kelly.
But only on stage.
All right, Eric.
And here is our Night Ranger expert.
He's the expert.
Keyboardist extraordinaire. Even though he put When You Close Your Eyes at number 4, we will still consider him the expert. Eric, what is your number 1?
If When You Close Your Eyes had a D minor 6 chord in it.
Oh, God.
You should throw that in one time when you're playing and see what happens.
Up the list.
It could have one.
Just because I never want to take for granted getting to play these open,
Yeah.
And knowing that's the moment that for a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
My hope is that they're feeling the goosebumps at that moment. Yeah. So then that's just, I never take that for granted. I've played bar gigs. I've driven hundreds of miles to play for 10 people. I've gotten to rock amphitheaters. Where was I going with all of that? Oh, but it's to be able to have that moment when it's of every show getting to have that moment, and then Kelly will always back off at some point. He'll start singing it and backing up, and he'll back off, and I get to just accompany all those people, and I'm wearing sunglasses, so I can't even see anybody. but I know they're out there, I never want to take that for granted. That to me is that's just a priceless part of being in this band. Yeah.
And that's the thing with that song. If you're playing, and gosh, I don't know. You came to a little town called Blue Ash here in Cincinnati, and it was a free show put on by the city, and there was at least 15,000 people there, and those 15,000 people, 2,000 of us are diehards, and the rest got the greatest hits or whatever, and this is what they're wanting to hear.
Yeah.
So that's their big moment for them, and we all feel it, we all see it, we know it.
Yep, exactly.
And it's fantastic.
And it doesn't.
I loved your explanation of that. I thought that was really cool.
Thanks.
And it doesn't matter if you're a hardcore fan or if you're the other 13,000 who's just there. Is when you hear Sister Christian, you are suddenly back in 1984. No matter if you're a hardcore or just a casual fan. So Night Ranger's lucky that they have not only all those hits, but just an iconic hit like Sister Christian. And definitely, a number 1 song. Eric probably is the only one who really got it right. And
there's no right and wrong.
Let me ask
you're coming from a totally different experience than we have at this point. So yours is right.
Let me ask you this, Eric. Talk about what Jeff plays on that song, because we know what Fitz plays. That's really prominent, but Jeff has also kind of got a background organ keyboard type part. But it's kind of in the blur, as you would say. It's not out front. Can you talk a little bit about what he's doing to the song, or on the studio version?
He's right. So Fitz would be playing the piano, and then when the pad part comes in halfway through, that would be halfway through the first verse. That would be Jeff, I presume, on the. I don't know if he played it on the album. I know he played it I've seen video of him playing it live.
Mm-hmm.
So it's when I was first learning the song, I remember being like, well, you know, I'm compromising this by if even I knew that Christian, my predecessor, had just brought in a combination of piano and swelled in a pad, so it sounds like that's with the pad in here. If I crank it up, that's what the pad sounds like. So it's at first I was like, oh, there's got to be like a better way to do this. So I was like, can I like just play with my left hand pad and then with my right hand just, you know. But they, you know, correctly in retrospect, they're like, no, it's, you know, we can't lose the bass notes of the piano. That's too important. So yeah, the way that I do it is I'll play through the first half of the verse, and then I sneak my left hand over and hit that fader up. So I've got the pad in by the second half, and it's certainly not, you know, what was happening on the original. It's the pad and piano end up playing the exact same notes, but yeah, it seems to be the best compromise, all things considered. I'd much rather do that than be playing the tracks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, you know, everybody's kind of got a part in it, and then Jeff's, you know, kind of playing this real background keyboard, and I figured we got the expert on the show, might as well tell us exactly what's going on there. So there you go, everybody. Our top 9 rankings of Midnight Madness. Chipping away, the highest was Brent at number 5. Let Him Run, I think the highest was Eric. You had that at number 3.
Yeah.
Rockin' America, I think me and Eric, you had that ranked as 2, again the highest. Rumors, Brent, number 1 was the highest. What Does Love Have to Change? Brent had that at 3. Or no, you had that at 9. I was looking at When You Close Your Eyes. Probably me. Why Does Love Have to Change? Probably it's 6. Sister Christian, number 1, Eric. And Touch of Madness, Andy had number 1. Passion Play, who ranked Passion Play the highest? Probably...
I had it at 6.
That's the highest.
Yeah.
Is you, Brent. So, and then when you close your eyes, what's crazy is Eric Levy had it ranked the lowest at number 4.
It does seem awfully low when you put it that way for a song like that.
He's like, great.
But I had it ranked number 1, so all is well in the world.
Eric, can I ask you? So, since we got, I don't know how much time we have with you, but just out of curiosity, I always wondered this with bands that have big hits and iconic hits. I know just my little experience I had in a cover band. There were certain songs that I absolutely looked forward to in the set because I knew the crowd reaction was going to be awesome. Not necessarily that I loved it. I just knew, like when you hit Sister Christian, you know the crowd just going to erupt. There's nothing. Everybody, 15,000 people are going to lose their minds. Are there other songs? I mean, like When You Close Your Eyes, when that starts, can you just feel it, or even off other albums? Is there songs that you just look forward to because you know the crowd's going to just go bonkers?
Yeah, weird. It's as my mouth is moving, I'm thinking, am I breaking protocol by saying it?
You don't have
Let's
to.
just say that like there have been shows on occasion where, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, the security guards keep everybody at bay, but then, as soon as we start When You Close Your Eyes, they just let everybody up. It's like, okay, everybody can come up to the front of the stage. So, yeah, that's usually if we're in a situation where that's happening, that's all of a sudden
that's a rush.
We're, I feel like I'm getting just like a jolt of adrenaline at that point. Yeah, like all these people rushing up front.
I was at a show, Sweetwater, about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago at this point, I was up at that show. It was hot as all get out. I had front row, dead center seats, and at some point, and Kerry was the biggest instigator. He's like, "Come on up, come on up." And I'm like, "Hey, this is my seat." And there's people standing in front of me, and he's like, "Come on, come on." And I'm like, and I was getting like, "Hey, they could have got the same chances I got." But I think you can't help it sometimes, man. You just get like
spoken like a true 52-year-old.
I'm telling you, man. I was like,
hey,
get off my lawn.
Eric, you want an adrenaline rush? Wait till you got me, Andy, and Brent in the front row without our shirts, and we're climbing on stage.
Yeah, and we're poking each other like the Three Stooges.
Oh, it's happening.
If I see you, I'll throw you guitar picks, or, but
that ain't gonna stop us.
But if you make your way on stage, I can't speak for your safety.
Yeah.
At that point,
he's like, I don't know.
We can't speak for your safety either. No, I'm joking.
No matter what he says, I don't know that guy.
Yeah.
I just want to be one with you.
He was wearing a Fans of Motion shirt. It can't be that hard to find him.
So, Eric, thank you for coming on and ranking those with us. Andy,
thanks so much for including me.
Andy, Brent, you guys got any parting words for Mr. Eric Levy, the National Treasure?
We both do. Of course we do. Andy, go ahead.
As always, Eric, I so look forward to when I get the message from Josh, like, "Hey, Eric's coming on the show," and I was like, "Sweet," because it's just you're just fun, dude. And I know we talked a little bit off the camera about how simple you doing this little podcast is just good. It's fun. It's exciting for us. So just always thank you so much, and I look forward to the next time we do something like this. And every time you play songs in my ears, I just lose my mind. So. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Thank you, Andy.
And I can't thank you enough for the fans out there that love you. You're doing this for us, but you're doing it for them, and that's special to us three. Thank you so much for your time. And I get a jolt when you start playing. I'm just, I'm fat and I'm 52, but I'm melting over here.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There's an image I can't get out.
My 14-year-old self is just going, you would have never believed this was going to happen in your lifetime, but no, it's so
That's
cool
the truth.
What you do for us, and we can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it's, to a certain degree, it's self-serving because I'm sitting around all pandemic, not getting a chance to play any shows, and you guys are giving me the opportunity to, talk Night Ranger and, help remind me, like, oh, yeah, quarantine will end, and we will play shows again. Yeah,
and you will be back.
It's really been wonderful for me. Yeah, it's anytime. This is too much fun every time.
You're a fabulous ambassador for the band, and we're lucky to have you.
Eric, thank you for joining us, and everybody listening, thanks for listening. And I will leave you with "When You Close Your Eyes" is not number 4. It's number 1.
Well, and there you have it. Another fantastic show. How much fun was that, guys? Little Eric Levy, little Midnight Madness. See where everybody's wrong on their rankings.
See where my list was correct.
Let me pull Josh's up here real quick. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's right.
Not bad.
The hardest part was, like you said,
is the night.
No Bon Jovi, please. The hardest part is trying to, like I said, I still love rock in America, but it's not going to be at the top because if I'm ranking it for what I go to, and that's not what I go to, but technically it should be within the top 3. Yeah, it should be, but it's not. Same with Sister Christian. It just wasn't because I don't go to it.
Right.
But it doesn't mean it isn't fantastic.
Well, it's tough on this album because, like Josh has stated earlier, and we all, I think, agree, this album really is great from front to back. There's not really, I mean, again, if maybe Chipping Away might be the
wrong.
The last song, but
wrong.
You get torn between ranking what you personally feel should be where they are, and what makes sense in the world. Like, I personally like this song a little more than that song, but you get a little torn. You get in your head. At least I do. I get in my head about it because like the world's pressuring me to make it When You Close Your Eyes, but I want it to be Touch of Madness. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that I can tell people all the time.
Eyes, you get a flying elbow drop.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to talk about Touch of Madness, but nobody wants to talk about the Macho Madness. Yeah.
I think Josh is going to be giving away Slim Jims for the next contest.
That would be awesome.
There you go. So I
want to hear Step Into a Slim Jim, Josh. Do it for me. Come on, do it. Do it.
So there we go. Ranking Midnight Madness with Eric Levy. Thanks, Eric, for joining us. And we will have to think about what album we will rank next down the road. So,
Hole in the Sun.
Maybe.
I think we still have to get him back for Hole in the Sun, like you said, so he can get his money's worth out of it.
You got to do Hole in the Sun.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we shall see you next week. Later.